Let me make sure I got live again. Oh, come on, up there. It's like this is a three-ring circus when you want to do a live here with YouTube. And that's not the one I wanted. Come on, really, guys? Tuesday morning live chat. There we go. Finally got in. Okay, hang on. I got a few minutes, guys. I just want to share it over in my Facebook group. Over there on Facebook. Copy, paste the text. Okay, that's only there. And then go to my group, and then we should be all set. Oh, come on. Boy, this thing really aggravates me, I'll tell you. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, finally got that baloney out of the way. Let's go to Donna's page so she can watch my video. Okay. She's all set. Okay, well, let me turn down the volume so I don't want to hear myself in a double echo. Well, I'm going to pull up the microphone a little bit closer because I've been getting some people. And let me get a little bit comfortable here. Yeah, well, good morning, guys. Well, before we get started, welcome. If you're a returning member, welcome back. And if you're a new member, could you please share, like, and smash that subscribe button? It definitely helps the channel. Before we get started, I want to have a sip of my favorite cup of coffee. Always be kind, right, guys? So, well, good morning. Today is April 23rd. It is a Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful, bright, sunny day today. A little bit chilly in our city. It's around 35, 40 degrees this morning, but I'm still going to go for a walk in the late afternoon. So yesterday we went walking. I did 3.5 miles of walking yesterday. I think the agenda is always hit the 5-mile marker, but my legs started giving out on me around the 2.5 to 2 2.75 mile marker. At that point, I only had a little bit left to go before I was actually on the street where I needed to be home. And I kept stopping along the way, and I was resting my back up against a couple of poles. And one lady, she was walking behind me. She asked me if I was all right, and I said, "Well, yeah, I'm fine." I was just a little bit pooped out by that point. But it's going phenomenally well, and the weight's holding its own. It's not going up, it's not going down, which is a plus. But I mean, I'd like it to go down a lot more. But right now it's a journey, and it is what it is. And I often said, if I don't lose any more weight, I'm really fine with my current weight. If I don't lose any more weight at 67 years old, I should be 68 in August, and we're doing phenomenally well. So the YouTube channel is really starting to pick up and growing. I picked up like about nine subscribers since yesterday, and I finally hit 1,400 subscribers. It only took less than 3 weeks to get 1,400 subscribers from 13. So I can't thank you all enough. And I think what's going on is I started loading up they call them shorts, YouTube shorts, and they have to be under a minute or less. So I've been averaging about 3 or 4 short videos a day I've been putting up. So what I've been doing is I've been going to all my older food videos, and I've been recycling them, and I've been trimming them down to a minute or less and throwing them up on the channel. But the only thing that I don't like about it is I can't select the thumbnail from the video itself. Now, they said you can do it from the phone, but I tried doing it from my phone, and I still can't figure it out. So, it may be hopefully at some point YouTube will change that, but who knows? But anyways, they have 1,978 watch time hours. So I'm almost there at the 2,000 mark. Hey, good morning. How you doing, mom and four boys? Wow, you got your hands full. I can't imagine what your food shopping is. Oh my gosh. Donna and I, we average over 100 a week, and it's just the two of us, and that's on a good week. That's on a bad week, actually, because most of the time I'm spending like about, and when I'm doing a regular order, it'll be anyways from $300 to $400. And the prices right now are really killing us right now. And it goes, so anybody that has four kids that can afford it, bless you. But if you don't have those supplemental food stamps, I would definitely apply for that, and hopefully you can qualify for that. But Donna and I make just over that threshold where they won't let us have the food stamps because they tried many times, and it's like about 40 or 50 pages you got to fill out and all, just to get denied. It goes, it's not even worth it for me. My sister called me up the other day. She said, yeah, they just changed the income verification to where they're allowing you to have a little more because of the economy. And they goes, it doesn't make any difference with us because every time I've done that before in the past, they turned this down, and I'm not reapplying again because I think it's a bunch of baloney where you'd almost have to be in a situation where you'd have to have two or three kids. The only time I ever qualified for that was when I didn't have a check when I was waiting to get on Social Security through my disability before I eventually end up at retirement age. But fine, whatever. I just deal with it the best I can, and so today is Tuesday, the 23rd, and 4, 25, 20, 25. Yeah, 5 more days. My wife and I will be celebrating our 43rd year together being married. So I'm thinking about taking her down to Applebee's, making get something simple that's not going to be a lot of carbs. And probably that's what we'll probably wind up doing. And of course, Donna loves doing the charity on Friday nights, and I do the volunteer. Still kind of looking for a job, but tomorrow I have kind of a backslash job interview, job testing. I have to go for it. I'm applying to become a driver, and I have to go down and turn in my application. And then what they do is they'll have me sit in the truck, and then I'll just ride around the park. It's actually a van, but it's a smaller size van, about a little kind of like an SUV. And she'll just have me drive around the parking lot a little bit to get used to it. And then she's going to send me down the registry to get a 7D license for that. And I don't think I'm going to pass the first time, but you never know. If I don't, I'll just take it again and again until I pass it. I'm only going to take it 3 times. If I don't pass it by the third time, I'm not going to bother with it. But, because I have a hard time. I can do the jobs, but a lot of times I have a hard time passing tests, and that's been always my issue with that. But the channel is growing really strong there. I picked up like 9 new subscribers last night, so thank you so much for all the new subscribers. I think what's going on is because I've been putting at least 3 or 4 videos up a day. Now, I just loaded 3 videos this morning. I did a budget-friendly steak video. I did a keto carnivore lasagna one. And then I did a Chef was for Life recipe one that'll be playing on Wednesday. Now, every day at noontime this week, we got a Chef recipe or shuffle, depending on your pronunciation. And I really enjoy these recipes. Today, I'll just go over really simple on the recipe today that I used. Okay. So this particular recipe, it was more like a bready texture. So I used 3 tablespoons of almond flour, 1 egg, 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of mayonnaise, a tablespoon of mayonnaise, 1 teaspoon of water, a half a tablespoon of melted butter, and a half a tablespoon of sweetener. And I used the confectionate sweetener. And then I sprayed my bowl with a little bit of cooking spray, and then I put the mixture, after I mixed everything up into the measuring cup. I just took a scoop out with a spoon, and I spread it on the mini dash. And 3 minutes later, I had a nice, soft, bready texture type shuffle, and it didn't taste eggy, which to my surprise. So then I ended up making a couple of eggs, and I did 2 eggs over easy, and I put it on top, and I made like an egg McMuffin sandwich, and that's the video that's going to be playing on Thursday. And then we have one coming for today, and then tomorrow's recipe was going to be real good. I did a cinnamon one for tomorrow. I got that recipe from Low Carb Revelation, and Paula and Ed. They do keto as well, and they've been very successful, and they put recipes and talk about their journey and adventure and everything like I do. And that there, I used the chalk zero for like a syrup, and I put a slab of butter on the top, and then I just and it was all basic. It was a cinnamon base shaffle, and then I put the maple syrup on top. It kind of looked like a waffle, but it tasted wicked good. He goes, "Oh my gosh," you know. So I really enjoy doing these, you know, where I get most of my shaffle recipes, I online. You can get them on Pinterest, Instagram, Google search, YouTube, Facebook has a lot of just type in the word chaffles, Chaffles, and you know, you can get all kinds of different idea recipes. And one recipe I want to redo is the Oreo shuffle that I made a while back ago. I made that last year, actually around February, and used a cream cheese filling, and you know, it came out really good. And I ended up using the Hershey's cocoa powder, but I used the dark chocolate, and it was also the sugar free, and it was the powdered stuff. And it came out wicked good. And he goes, "Oh my gosh!" So, and then I got the idea to do a shuffle recipe playlist for every day at noontime. And I think probably just I started out every day of the week, but then now it's Monday through Friday. And I ran out of eggs last week, actually Friday, because I did a 3-day egg fast. And then I ended up picking up more eggs. I tried a different brand of eggs. I got the Pete's organic eggs this time, and I noticed this morning when I made my eggs in my shuffle that the egg was really, really like a nice dark yolk that I normally wouldn't see in the other eggs that I've been buying. So this tells me that these eggs they are organic, and yeah, and they were only like $4 a dozen. I saw eggs going in the store the other day for like $10 a dozen. I'm not paying $10 a dozen for eggs, not unless that's the standard price across the board. Um, so we have some local farmers where I'm eventually going to try to make contact with one of them, and I'm going to see if I can't pick up about 4 or 5 dozen eggs for the month, because I go through being on keto and carnivore now. I go on quite a bit of eggs over the course of the week. I'll average about 3 dozen eggs for the week, you know, because I'm doing a lot of bacon and all that stuff. Now, Sunday rather, I made some blueberry muffins. It came out really, really good, but I only did I did 24, but I did it in 2 batches, and then the other half I froze, and I didn't show that part on the video, but I just showed you one batch. And the recipe came to you from Low Carb Recipes with Jennifer, and when that video is tomorrow, I believe, they yeah, she called for cottage cheese, but cream cheese, and you know, no, sorry, yogurt, plain yogurt is what it was, plain Greek yogurt, a cup of it. And I found it, but I didn't want to get the biggest tub. So I ended up getting just a small little container of sour cream, and that equaled up to a cup. And I used the entire container. And then I put the fresh blueberries in. I actually had fresh blueberries that I used. And it came out phenomenally well. I enjoyed it. And, you know, and again, every time I'm doing a recipe or something like that, I'll try to make sure the link is in the show more above the timeline. But you can just click on the link above or below. And because I'm trying to credit everybody that I got these recipes from. And it's been working out really good. And the short videos, again, they've been working out really well for me. I have like over 500 recipes that I done in the start of my weight loss journey. At the very beginning of my weight loss journey, I wasn't putting up any videos for recipes, and I couldn't figure out, well, how the life of me, how am I going to film this? You know, and you know, by myself, nobody's helping me. I'm editing everything myself. At the very beginning, I was volunteering for the studio. I was averaging about 2 or 3 videos a week for them, and plus my own channel. So I really didn't have time to do too much video editing for recipes and anything other than my weekly adventures. And then so one day I just said, you know what? After looking at all these other YouTubers, I only have this much. I only got about maybe a 4-foot by 3-foot counter space to work with, and my countertop is always a mess. And I try to keep it cleaner, but around just the area that I'm, you know, working with. But when I go onto the YouTubers, I study how they film and everything, and I've learned that I've gotten better at it over the years. And you know, a lot of the original videos that I did, kind of like talking over the video while I was filming it, it was a lot of distraction in the background with the noise and everything that was going on and stuff like that. Sometimes I would say teaspoon or it's tablespoon. In fact, I was watching Paula's video when she made that shuffle recipe, and she references, Oh yeah, good. She meant to say a tablespoon for baking powder. She says you put 1 cup of baking powder in, and I said no, no, no. I know what she meant, but she missed that on the video. I didn't comment on it, but I knew what she had meant, and but that was a lot of big reason why I was didn't want to put any recipes up at the beginning because I was so afraid of messing up and stuff like that. So now what I do is when I film and then I take off the original video volume, the noise rather, and then I super fast forwarded it times two of the original speed of the video, and then I condense it down to step by step by step by step, and then I add music underneath the timeline, and then sometimes I'll add instructions. I always add a title and a credit at the end, and then I talk over the timeline and I pitch down the music and I my voice, I try to raise it up lately a little higher than what it normally would be because some people would say they having a hard time hearing my voice, which I don't get it because I hear my voice just fine when I'm listening to it. All you got to do is put up the video noise on the computer screen, right? But it is what it is. What I really need to invest in is a little lapel over here that has a microphone, so you can just hear me directly over here instead of like over here. I got my Yeti microphone over here. This is why I haven't been able to talk like this, and it's going really, really good. And I simply they go. I guess is that how you pronounce your name? Well, good morning. Yeah, so just chatting along a little bit there, and just letting everybody know it's going good. And yeah, my wife had an appointment yesterday for her infusion, and she cracked me up. We both missed it, and then the nurse calls me up around 4 o'clock, and she says, I'm just checking on the well-being of Donna. Is she okay?" And I says, I said, "Donna, you had an appointment today?" And she says, "Oh no, I thought it was today, Tuesday." And so then the nurse, I called the nurse up, left a message on it, apologizing for missing an appointment yesterday, and we made an appointment for later today to finish up that appointment there. She goes down there every 2 weeks to get a shot for the blood cells are low in count. And yeah, so everything's going good. I did a 3.5 mile walk yesterday. Today I'm planning on doing a late afternoon walk after I'm done with that appointment. And tomorrow, I think they said something about it's going to rain tomorrow. So I'll probably wind up staying home and make some more chapel recipes. And also what I want to do, yeah, so Friday, yeah, this coming weekend, the 28th. When is the 28th? What date does that fall on? I think it's next Tuesday or something like that, right? Let me just check the calendar day. Yeah, the 28th is actually on a Sunday, so yeah, that'll be good. So Donna and I think Applebee's would be good, either in Texas Roadhouse or someplace like that. And yeah. Yeah, so I've been married with Donna for 43 years, and everything has been good. We don't have any kids, but we do have a cat. It's a crazy cat. He This morning I tried to get into my room, and he's over there. He listens for me, and he sits right at the bottom of my door, and then he tries to push himself in. And I let him in my room yesterday, and he's climbing up everywhere, trying to climb up the shades, everything. He just totally pisses me off. And at this point in my life, I don't even know why we got a cat, but we did, and I have him, and I love him. But sometimes he just gets on my nerves, especially when I want to do something, and I'm constantly scolding him because what it is, he's a little bit over a year old, and he's a kid, and he wants somebody to play with all the time. And Donna, I like to do this stuff and that. And Donna has her things she has to do over the course of her day. And we do play with him and interact with him. But the idea for him would have been for me to get an extra cat with him, and you can have the two of them to play with and keep watch out for each other. But I'm only allowed one pet here, and if I was allowed to have another one, my rent would go up by another $20. I just got I got a lot of paperwork I had to fill out, and I messed up on a couple of pieces of paper for my rent over here, and I just filled it out. And I got to mail that in. Now my rent's going to go up by another $100. It's like it just went up $40 because of the reevaluation with Social Security, and now it's going to go up again by $40 or $50, or maybe even $100. So, we applied for rent somewhere else in the city, but I got to wait back for the office to give me the paperwork. So it's in other words, it's like a reference thing, okay? And I haven't got that from the office from this place yet, so they can finish up the paperwork on the other place. But I don't want to move it to late next year, or not late next year, but late this year, probably possibly January or February and the next year. But because the new place that I want to go to, they're building condos, but they're apartment townhouses. Like they got 3 floors, and we can get a 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 1 bedroom. They have a balcony where you can sit out there in the balcony, and then they have washer and dryer in all the units, and then they have it's all soundproof room, garbage disposal, which we don't have, dishwasher, the whole 9 yards, and so I just my concern is, can we afford it? Because it'll be about another $100-$200 more a month. But if my rent goes up 100 plus what she's paying on the wash, that equals out to what I'm spending here. So I'm not going to be spending any more than what I'm going to be spending here for the rent. But I'm just going to get I'm going to get an upgraded apartment. Now, when I came here with Donna, these were brand new at the time. Nobody's lived in this apartment but Donna and I, and we're on the first and last month's rent, so I can move anytime I want. And the same way with the newer place, if I decide to go there, they just want a first and last month's rent. But the rents average in our city, they average anywhere from $1,300 and up, and I'm paying well below that right now because we consider low income, which is another reason why I want to get out of here. Because if I take this job that I'm going to be going for tomorrow, I'll probably be picking up about $200 or $300 a week, and that's going to go against my rent, and then my rent's going to go up, and it'll take us out of the category of being able to stay here or not. I don't know how that's going to work, but the economy is so bad right now, and I just I just can't believe it. I go shopping the other day, and I spent $100, and I only got about 4 or 5 items in my carriage. It's like, oh my God, and again, you have 4 or 5 kids. How do you guys do it? I mean, before when I was I never, not I should say never, but years ago when I was with Donna, every Sunday we used to get the paper. The paper used to be that thick, and now it's down 3 or 4 pages, and you used to get piles and piles of store coupons, for boxes off of cereal and all that. I don't see that stuff anymore, I've been noticing, like in the grocery store, every time you go buy something, you're paying more for less. Even that Chalk Zero that I just sent out for this past week, I'm looking at the size of the bottle. It was half the size as it was before, and they charging me more, $2 more for the same product, because they redesigned your bottle at a smaller bottle, and again you're getting about the half the amount that you were getting before. And I also noticed that it's not as thick as it was before. The other Chalk Zero was really, so they're adding something to it to thin it out, to stretch it out. So this is what's been going on there. So they're screwing with us is what they're doing, But, all that said, I just encourage everybody to take one day at a time. And I hope I didn't rattle off too much over here. But I just, I like to talk about my adventure and how everything's going. The weight's going really good. Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about something, too. So yesterday I get a call from the nurse, and she said, Ron, I says, I wanted to come down to your apartment so I can measure you for a lymphedema pump, because my right leg has been swollen. And I goes, I didn't remember if I ordered a lymphedema pump at the doctor or whatever. So then I said, no, I don't need one, right? Because I've been doing an awful lot of walking. I still have that in my leg, but the swelling has gone way down because I've been walking and stuff. And then I realized, I said, well, what the heck? I had asked for that pump last May when I had problems with my feet being swollen. And I was having problems with the issue when I went over to the wound center, because my feet had those, they call them fissures, and they had splits all throughout my feet. And it took them 2 months to get that all under control. And she measured, she said, yeah, I'm going to set up a thing so you can get a pump. So almost 9 months later, they're getting back to me on this. I goes, that's unacceptable. I goes, I don't need it. And, give it to somebody else. I get so riled up at these places, I don't know if you guys have gals ever run into that problem, but let me know, because I'd like to know what the heck I'm doing wrong, And then every time I turn around, Donna and I would get slapped at co-payments left and right there, because we get a lot because our age category, we have a lot of doctor appointments. Being on retirement money, I tell you guys, whoever told you that Social Security people can retire, how the heck can you live off of $1,200 or $1,500 a month if you're by yourself, and you have to pay a rent of equaled out to almost your Social Security. You can't. You have to have at least one more other income, and even having another income. If you got a car payment, a couple of credit cards, and your cable bill, your phone bill, and your gas, electric, or whatever, however you heat in your house, and plus your groceries, you just can't afford it. You know. And then they let all these people coming into the country there, and then they're giving them all free stuff right off the start. There's something wrong with that. That all has to stop. So hopefully after this thing coming up in the fall, there maybe I'm not going to get into politics, but you just think about where you were 4 years ago to where you are now, and if you continue wanting to go down this rabbit hole, then all I can tell you is just pray, because this country has already gone down the crapper, and it's going to go down even worse if we continue on the way we're going, and I honestly believe that. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna today. So today we're gonna be making the spaghetti. And I'll probably film that out for you guys. I'm gonna do a spaghetti in the crock pot. I bought some of the the meatballs you buy in the package, your small little Italian meatballs, and I'm gonna put together a sauce in the slow cooker, and then I'm gonna just make some low carb bread, and then we're gonna make a nice meatball sandwich with today. And I'll buy some regular bread for my wife so she can have that, like a grind a type loaf. And maybe have some provolone cheese in between. I think that'd be good for today. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. You guys have an amazing day, and thank you for coming in this morning on Unannounced Pop-Up Live. I'm also looking for anybody that want to chat with me live. If you're interested in that, we can designate one day a week, and wish me luck for tomorrow, because I'm going to go down and do a test at the Registry of Motor Vehicles. Don't know if I'm going to be able to pass that or not, but if I don't pass it the first time, I'll definitely try it again. And my neighbor told me Friday he took him 3 times before he passed that particular test. You're allowed to get 80% of them right, and then you do the road test with them, and then it's kind of like a learner's permit. But it's all common sense questions that they're going to ask me, and I don't know. Let's see what happens. But anyways, have an amazing day. Love you guys. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Again, if anybody hasn't told you guys this, you guys are amazing, and thank you for coming along my journey, and love you guys.